Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions Global, let's look at Loreila, Glaciela, and Laswell. These are all hatchery units that are going to be coming out next week. If I remember, Loreila and Glaciela will be on the same banner, and then Laswell will be either by himself or with Rain. I forget which, but yeah. With Glaciela, I went into detail in the level 99 review video. You can check that out if you like. But if you're trying to decide between her and Laswell and you're going to pull for somebody, I would recommend Glaciela for 90% of players. Her speed and range and top chainer status and great Trustmaster make her easy to use and fun and very important in the meta. But Laswell still has a lot of interesting stuff going for him, and he's more kind of a thinking man's unit. And that's all I'm going to say about Glaciela here. And then next, let's talk about Rodera, just so we can get her out of the way. She's not that great. If you saw my previous video where I pulled for her, I was very excited for her, because I was, at that time, very desperate for a UR Ranger unit, and there still wasn't any. And Rodera, she was the MR, so I decided to pull for her. I like her look as well. She's really good for tower and then like manual PvE. But she's not that great for PvP. The thing about Tower in particular is that elevation is very important in there. So if you can use anybody that can deal with that, Rangers or Dragoons or Ninjas, they are really good in there. But her being an MR and then a ranged attacker MR means her attack is not great. She can do over 1,000 damage with her skills, but in PvP, once you get to the really high levels, that's just not going to be enough, and that slot that she's taken up could really be better used by somebody else. I was very interested to use her Trustmaster. This is a bow, you can see the stats there, they're okay. But it has the Doom status effect, which will go into her regular attacks. And I had dreams of like using this on tanks, you know, and taking them down regardless of damage. But the thing with using this on units like Fina or Rosa, they have so many things that they can do, both on offense and defense. You have to turn off so many skills in order to get them to do normal attacks, that it just stops making sense using those units at all. That being said, Loreila's sub-jobs have bad enough synergy with her main job that you will never use them. Those are Viking and Knight. Those are close-range jobs, and she's pretty fragile, so you want to keep her back. And so you're almost always going to be using her Ranger sub-job, which has the 100% hit attack anyway, which is one of the main reasons to use her. But with her Ranger main job and sub-job, she has so few AP skills that she will do her regular attack fairly often. So she would be a good candidate for her own Trustmaster or Fina's reincarnation. If you want somebody for tower, go for it. Otherwise, yeah, maybe just for looks. Alright, next let's look at Laswell. In a nutshell, he's an evadey attacker, medium range attacker, with some meta current damage options, and then some interesting like breaks and stuff. And speaking of defense piercing, he actually has more options than Glaciela. But we can look at his Trustmaster here. This is a light armor. Yeah, mages and thieves and stuff can wear this. But kind of so-so stats. 15 accuracy is nice. And then the active ability is not great either. 3 turns, raise your own critical rate very high. So yeah, just judging by Trustmasters, easily Glaciela is the better pick. But if you're happy with Laswell at level 89, that would be fine. Laswell has one of the highest accuracy ratings in the game, so he could be good against evade parties, even though he doesn't have a 100% hit attack. But main job is Grand Shelt Knight, the ice version, I guess. Sub-jobs Samurai, and then Dragoon. And then we can look at his ability board. Yeah, I don't have the skills unlocked, so we'll have to look at them here. But let's look at the Grand Shelt Knight skills first. Here is a self-buff. This will raise attack and then defense piercing for 1 turn. And then here is an attack, super short range, but this will have a little bit higher damage than his normal attack. And then here we have his 2 sub-job abilities. This is very interesting. It's a short range, little bit of area effect, but hits 2 times. so this could help you chain. And then here, this is very interesting. This is a TP skill at range. This will dispel. And so this could be good against enemies that have like, attack or magic up self buffs. Or you could get rid of their hate, or you could get rid of their evade self buffs. And then since it's a TP skill, that doesn't do any damage, you could certainly use it on your teammates without any disadvantage there. It's going to be very difficult to make this work well in auto battle. But in manual play, this will be really, really good, really powerful. This could be good for high difficulty PvE in particular. I think those are the only two skills that he has on his sub-job, this Dispel and then the range chaining attack. So most of the time you're not going to need this sub-job, so you can pick something else. Okay, here's another main job ability. This is a short range, only in a straight line, but medium damage and then will imperil ice resistance, so that's pretty great. That will make him maybe a good partner for Mediana or Agrias or Gilgamesh. And then here's Bunshin. This is a very interesting skill. Still unique in the game. But you cast it, and then you will get a like 100% evade, 100% attack resistance barrier, which will just soak up the first hit that you get. And that really addresses one of his weaknesses. His main weakness being kind of short range and then low movement. He does have good agility, so he will act fairly often, but he just can't move that much. But with Bunshin, with this like image or barrier, he'll be able to get in and then take a hit from somebody, and then on the next turn, hopefully, he'll be able to make his attack. So his chances of getting one punch before he can do an attack will be greatly lowered. And that's kind of a weakness that maybe Glaciela will have. So yeah, you combine this with high evade, and you have a character that can survive pretty well. What else we got? Here's another short-range attack, but has a higher damage multiplier than the one that he gets at the beginning. Okay, and then those are all the attacks for the Grand Shelt Knight Ice version. Next, let's look at Samurai. He gets most of the usual stuff. Here's Hien. Here is the Area of Effect, Brave Up. Here is the Area of Effect Evade Up buff, so all of this stuff together would make Laswell a great choice for an Evade team, which is great for my global account, since I'm working on Evade there anyway. Self-buff to raise attack and critical. And then here, this is one of the best Samurai attacks, but this is the Spin attack, which can cast Stop on people. And that's really good for raids. If you've used like Sasayaki in some recent raids, or Rob, you know that slow status effect can come in very handy. So you want to raise Laswell's faith probably up to at least 50. He'll get the 100% success rate from like Jesus Bells and stuff, but then you can also get some status effects in here as well. And then another spin attack. This one will cast Blind. I like that spin attack. You know, it's very short range, but it comes in handy a lot. Alright, and then the last sub-job is Dragoon. So we get Jump, we get Horizon Jump, we get the Move and Jump self-buff. That's pretty nice, actually. General Attack Up self-buff. Brave Break. Yeah, so those are how the skills are looking. Next, let's look at support abilities. Jump +1. That could really help you, depending on the map. HP Up from Dragoon. I don't know if he needs this a ton, because you want to more rely on Evade for him. Speaking of Evade, here's the Samurai Attack and Evade Up. Attack Up from Grand Shelt Knight. That's nice. And then here's maybe his best support ability, but Defense Piercing Up, and then we'll raise the damage of his Ice Imperil attack, and then also Accuracy Up, so almost no reason not to want to use that one. Alright, then let's get reaction abilities. Here's from Grand Shelt Knight. When he takes physical damage, he will counterattack. And then a little bit of range on there, which is cool. And then here's the evade one from Samurai. If he gets hit, his evade will go up. If you're working on an evade build, that would be useful. And then from Lancer, he has another counterattack which can absorb some HP. This might be better than the Grand Shelt Knight one. Yeah, the Dragoon one has more elevation as well, so yeah. Alright, so that is a look at Laswell's skills. Finally, we'll look at his master ability. Slash attack up 5 and then accuracy plus 15, so again, cements his status as one of the best accuracy attackers in the game. And then limit break, a little bit of range, a little bit of area of effect, raises own defense piercing again, and then big damage, so yeah. So as we can see, he definitely has damage options, and then like compared to like Agrias, for example, he'll be the better ice slash attacker. Not as much range or area of effect as, say, Glaciela. But yeah, again, a thinking man's unit. You can get in close with evade and then that image self buff, and then start doing attacks from there. You can do breaks, you can do dispel, lots of interesting stuff. Alright, and then when he is released in Global, I will do, I guess, 5 pulls for him in my Global account. Hopefully I get him. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.